Katie, how are you today?
Good.
Good.
Guess what?
What?
I have started a rock collection.
You have?
Yes. But then as I was collecting my rocks, I realized I don't know a lot about them.
Well, that's great because, there's a geology award.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
Do you know what geology is?
Nope, but it's going to be fun to learn.
Okay, so geology is the study of dirts and rocks and the way that the world is put together.
Oh, wow. What is someone who studies geology called?
Yeah, that's a great question. They are called a geologist. So a geologist is a scientist who studies geology. So they're a lot like detectives.
I guess so.
Yeah, they spend their days looking for clues about the history of the earth and uncovering secrets that show us how we can use things in earth to make our lives better.
Wow, that's neat.
Yeah, they spend a lot of time digging in rocks and dirt.
Ooh, that sounds like something I would enjoy.
Yeah, so we could pretend that you're a geologist with some important work to do.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Do you want to do that while we're doing this award?
Yes, can we?
Yeah, we can.
All right.
So our first assignment is to travel through the desert for clues about the history of the area. So you dig through the sand and you come across a rock with strange marks on it. You dust off the rock.
Okay.
And you see that the markings are in the shape of a fish.
A fish rock.
Yeah. It's called a fossil.
Oh, how does that happen?
How does the fish end up in the desert, or how does the fish end up in the rock?
Yes.
Well, we'll get to that. But
Okay.
in short, the fish ended up underneath a lot of sediment, and when that compacted, it turned it into a fossil.
Whoa, that's cool.
Yeah, now, how do you think the fish got in the desert?
That I think I know.
Okay, what do you think?
I think it happened during the flood.
I think you might be right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so a long time ago, back in Genesis, there was a flood.
Yeah, and the fish was swimming along, and then it got stuck in some, mud.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then it became a fossil.
Ooh, that's cool.
Isn't that cool?
That sounds like fun.
It is a lot of fun. So did you know...
I like playing in sand. I think I'd be good at it.
I think you'd be good at it too.
Yeah.
So there's a verse in the Bible, and it says, "There is no one holy like our Lord. There was no one besides you. There is no rock like our God."
Whoa!
Yeah, that's pretty cool, huh?
Yeah, God is like a rock.
Like a really big, hard rock.
Strong.
And dependable.
Yeah.
It isn't going to sift away in the bad times in life.
No. Oh, that's really neat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty cool, huh?
Uh-huh.
So there's this Bible story, and you might know it, but there's this Bible story, and it's about these two men, and they both are going to build homes.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Where are they going to build them?
Well, one man decides he's going to build his house on a rock.
That sounds like a good idea. Rocks are strong.
Rocks are strong.
Yeah.
But the other man thinks, I don't need a rock. I'm going to build my house on the sand.
Oh, he wanted a beach house.
He did want a beach house.
Sounds like he may have built his house a little too close to the beach.
Yeah, he did. Do you want to watch a video about it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, let's go ahead and do that.
All right. Do you think Louie wants to watch it too?
Maybe.
All right, Louie. Let's watch a video.
Stories of the Bible. The parable of the two builders. This is Jesus.
Heyo!
Who is the Son of God and the Savior of the world. While Jesus was on earth, he taught everyone about God's love and healed people from their sickness. He did many miracles like walking on water.
Oh, hey guys.
And even raised people from the dead.
Wahoo!
One day, as he saw the crowds gathering, Jesus went up to the mountainside and sat down. His disciples gathered around him, and he began to teach them. He asked them, "Why do you keep calling me Lord, Lord, when you don't do what I say?" Anyone who listens to my teaching and follows it is wise.
Hey, I'm gonna build here.
I'm gonna build out there.
All right, suit yourself.
Like a person who builds a house on solid rock.
Oh, yeah.
When the floodwaters rise and break against that house, it stands firm because it was well built.
All good here.
But anyone who hears my teaching and doesn't obey it is foolish.
All right. Hey, this is nice.
Like a person who builds a house on sand.
Uh-oh.
When the rains and floods come and the winds beat against that house, it will collapse with a mighty crash. When Jesus had finished saying these things, the crowds were amazed at his teaching.
Whoa! I like that story. I think I've heard it before, but I really like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a great story, and it's a good thing to remember.
Yes.
We want to build our lives on the rock.
Yes. I mean, I've built sandcastles in the sand, and when I do that, the wave comes up and poof, it's gone.
You're right.
I
It
wouldn't want to build
absolutely is.
my house or my life on sand.
No.
I want to build it on something strong.
Right, like
Yeah.
God.
Like God.
You want God to be the foundation of your life.
Yes, I do.
Well, we need to do an experiment with soil or gravel or rocks or water. Does that
I
sound
like
like fun?
experiments.
I thought you might.
Yes.
So there's a couple that we can choose from, okay?
Okay.
So one is we can make a filter out of rocks and gravel and sand. So we can filter water. Yeah. So you can have like muddy water and you can get clean water.
What?
Now listen, this water is going to take a lot of the sediment. The filter is going to take a lot of the sediment out of the water, but I wouldn't recommend you drink it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So it's going to make the water clear, but probably if you really wanted to drink the water, you should boil it too.
Okay.
Okay? So
Okay.
that's an option. Or you can do an experiment on figuring out how hard a rock is.
How do I do that?
Well, we're going to use some special pieces of equipment.
Should
Like
I get
a
safety
nail.
glasses on?
You could. And we're going to scratch the rock and see which ones you end up with the scratching and which ones don't.
Oh, that sounds really high tech.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then the other thing that you
I
could-
should probably get my dad to help me with that one.
Yes, that's a good
Yeah.
idea. The other thing that we kind of talked about and would be a little tough, I think, right now, but if you get a minute, getting a geode to break in half is a really cool thing to do. So
What's
if
a geode?
a geode is it looks like a plain old boring rock on the outside, but on the inside it's filled
Does it
with,
have a surprise?
it does
There's
have
a surprise on the
Yeah, it's got beautiful gem on the inside.
inside. Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah,
Where
so
can I
that-
get those?
You can get them a lot of places, but probably Amazon is the big place that I get mine.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
Mom, we need geodes. She says she'll get right on it.
Yeah, I bet she will. Okay, so then the other thing we need to talk about is just different types of rocks, and that's what you wanted to know about, right?
Yes, I'm so excited.
Yeah, so there are 3 main types of rocks.
I mean, I feel like there's lots more rocks than 3.
Well, there are a lot of different types of rocks, but there's 3 main types of rocks. So there's indigenous rocks.
Oh,
and-
like categories.
Right, like
Oh,
categories.
okay,
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
yeah. And those kinds of rocks, those are formed from the solidification of molten rock material.
You just used a lot of really big words.
So hot rock is liquid.
Okay, yeah.
And then when that rock gets hard, when it cools down, it gets solidified.
Oh, so, like, the molten lava is really, really, really hot, but then as it comes to the surface, it cools down and forms rocks.
You've got it.
Oh, I got it. Okay.
Exactly. Okay. And then there's metamorphic rock.
That sounds like it's changing.
It is changing, yeah.
Wow.
Those rocks have been modified by heat or pressure or chemical processes, and they're usually buried really deep below the Earth's surface. And so exposure to extreme conditions has changed them and changed the texture and the chemical composition of those rocks.
Ooh, wow.
And then there's sedimentary rocks.
I feel like there'd have to be a really big process to change a rock.
Yeah, you think so? I think pressure is probably a big one of the things that changes rocks.
Yeah.
Pressure and temperature, and that
Wow.
matters. Yeah.
Okay, next
Okay, so
is what?
is sedimentary rocks.
Oh.
And
So they're
those-
like lazy. They don't move much. Sedentary.
sedimentary.
Sedimentary, not sedentary.
Right.
Oh, big difference. Okay.
So sedimentary rocks are rocks that are formed by the accumulation of sediment. Sediment's like the really fine sand that you find in the bottom of a riverbed,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And that can eventually over time make a rock.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Oh, yeah.
So I thought we could look at some rocks in these different categories that are in the Northeast, that are around where we live.
Oh, I like that.
Okay? So
Okay.
I'm going to show you some pictures of these rocks, okay?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So here we go.
Wow. A lot of the rocks we have around here are kind of the same colors.
These are igneous rocks of the Northeast.
Oh, I see. It says granite. We have a lot of granite in New Hampshire. It's actually called the Granite State because there's so much granite.
We do have a
Yeah.
lot of granite in New Hampshire.
Yeah.
And in Vermont. I don't know how much granite is in Maine. Do you know?
I don't.
Yeah.
No.
But in Vermont and in New Hampshire anyway, we've got lots of granite. But you guys get the Granite State Award. Yep.
Yep.
So there's also some other rocks. And you can tell when you're looking at these all kind of look similar.
Oh, yeah.
Right? They all kind of are speckled in appearance. And
Uh-huh.
it would be kind of hard to tell them apart.
It kind of is, actually. Yep.
So these are all different types of rocks in this category.
Wow.
Okay? So, do you want to see? I have,
You have some?
I have this one right here.
Oh, what's that one?
This is a granite rock.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
Can I show it to our friends?
Yeah.
You guys have probably seen a granite rock before. See how it kind of shimmers there?
Yes, it's pretty.
Yeah, it's a really pretty rock, but check this out. When you polish a granite rock,
Is that the same stone?
well, it's not the exact same stone, but it's a granite stone. When you polish a granite stone, look at how beautiful it is.
Oh, it's
And you can
so pretty
see
when
the
it's
lines
polished.
in it. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
really pretty.
Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Now, let's look at these ones. These are a calcite rock.
Oh. Wow. That's very black.
It is very black, yeah. So let's
Hmm.
show it to these guys here. Do you guys see that?
It's kind of rough.
It is really rough. You want
Yeah.
to see what it looks like when it's polished?
Oh, that one gets polished too?
It does, and look at how silvery and
Oh,
shiny it is.
wow. That is really pretty. You guys should look at that.
You guys see it?
Oh, that's really cool.
See how shiny? It's almost like a mirror.
I know.
Pretty cool.
That's very pretty.
Okay, so then let's look. There are some metamorphic rocks that are around where we live too.
Oh, like what?
So there's slate,
Oh.
and you might have seen slate. Sometimes they put slate on roofs
Oh.
to act as
Didn't they used to use it as like chalkboard?
and chalkboards. Yep, before
Wow.
smartboards and whiteboards, there was slate boards.
Wow.
And so you can see that these look a little different than the other kinds of rocks that we were looking at.
Yes, they do. There's more colors to them.
Yeah.
More than just black and white. And some of them have a bit more like white glassy kind of appearance to them.
You've got it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I do have some quartzite rocks. Do you want to see them?
Yes.
Okay, so I've got 3 of them here. And you can see,
Oh, they're so pretty. There's a blue one
yeah.
and a pink one.
And then I have this one.
And a purple one.
Yeah, pretty cool, huh?
Wow, yeah.
So I'm going to show these to you guys. Do you see them right there?
They're so pretty.
So this one is pink. It's hard to tell in my hand, but this one is a little pink. And then this one is green. And this one is purple. So this one is amethyst. It's amethyst. So purple quartz is an amethyst. And this is aventurine. And this is rose quartz.
Wow, they're so pretty.
Aren't those really, really pretty?
Yes.
So do you want to see what they look like polished?
Yes, I do. I
Okay.
really do.
So let's see. Here they are polished.
Oh, they're so shiny and so pretty. I love them.
And can you see, they kind of almost look a little see-through.
Yes.
So I'll hold them up for our friends here.
Wow.
So that's the pink one. This is the purple one.
Oh, isn't amethyst like February's birthstone?
It might be.
Wow.
And that's the green one.
Oh, it's so pretty.
They're really pretty. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting to me how the rocks look so different when they're polished.
They do look really different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. How about a couple more? Should we do a couple more?
Yes, we should.
Okay. So the last category is sedimentary rocks. Do you remember that one?
Yes. That's the one where it kind of settles to the bottom and becomes a stone.
Right. It settles
Yeah.
to the bottom and becomes a stone. And if you look at these rocks, they kind of look that way, right? Instead of having those kind of veins running through them or the speckles in them, they're kind of more one color.
Oh, yeah.
Now, there are 2 in here that are a little speckled. One is a conglomerate rock, and that's a rock that kind of got all put together. It's got some bigger pieces in it.
I guess so.
And then the other one is a sandstone rock. You can see that up in the top right-hand corner.
Oh, yeah.
That one's got some flecks in it too, but they're really, really small.
Yeah, I see that.
So I have a sandstone rock here. Do you want to see it?
Yes, I do.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, it's not as rough as some of the other ones.
No, it's really very smooth. Do you guys want to see it?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty.
So you can see it's just a little different looking. And you can kind of see the little flecks in it. Just that little bit different color. Now this rock is different in color than the sandstone on the screen. So
Yeah, I saw that.
yeah, it doesn't have to be the exact same color, and that sometimes is tricky, kind of like the quartz was different colors.
Well, and also I found that different rocks from different parts of the country or the world, even if it's kind of the same kind, it's going to be different. Like granite's going to look different here than it's going to look in other places.
You're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So I was just going to tell you, we were kind of talking about sedimentary rocks.
Yeah.
And before they become rocks, this is what sediment looks like. So we talk about gravel, and we talk about silt in the bottom of a river, or sand or clay. And these are the things that make
Oh.
sedimentary rocks.
You know what? I was listening to Moose Jaw Matt's podcast
Yeah.
one day, and he was talking about the Grand Canyon, and he was talking about this, and it was very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Grand Canyon is full of rocks.
It's actually made up of rocks. Yep.
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 Sure.
Lots of rocks.
That would be a really good place to be a geologist.
Yeah, but he was talking about like the different lines in the rocks.
Yeah.
It was very interesting.
Huh. We'll have to go
Yeah.
listen to it later.
Yeah.
Maybe while we're working on our rock
Oh,
crafts.
yeah, that would be
We
fun.
could listen to it. That'd be
Yes.
pretty cool. Now, do you know, we're talking a lot about rocks that are here at home, but did you know that in heaven there are going to be rocks?
What?
And there's going to be gems?
Whoa, really?
Yeah. And the Bible tells us
Wow.
that. Do you want to see?
Yes, I Woo!
Okay, let me get my Bible
Okay.
and let's look it up. It's in Revelation 21, so almost to the very end of the Bible.
Wow, that is near the end.
Let's see. There's only one chapter after Revelation 21.
Is that Revelation 22?
It is Revelation
Oh, I'm good
22.
at this.
So you're almost all the way to the back.
Okay. Start at 1.
Start at 1.
Okay. It
And
says,
Katie,
yeah.
if you get tired, let me know and we can swap off on the reading.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Okay.
It says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. How exciting. The first heaven and the first earth were completely gone. There was no longer any sea. Ooh. I saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem. It was coming down out of heaven from God. It was prepared like a bride beautifully dressed for her husband. I heard a loud voice from the throne. It said, Look, God now makes his home with the people. He will live with them. They will be his people, and God himself will be with them and be their God. Oh, he's going to come live with us.
Yeah.
That's so exciting. Oh, I can't wait to read more. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will be no more death. Oh, what a great promise. And there will be no more sadness. There will be no more crying or pain. These things are no longer, things are no longer the way they used to be. Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, isn't
Where
that
are the
really
rocks?
cool?
I haven't found the rocks yet, though.
They're coming. They're coming.
Okay. He who is sitting on the throne said, I am making everything new. Then he said, Write this down. Do you have your pen? You can trust these words, they are true. He said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give water to anyone who is thirsty. The water will come from the spring of the water of life. It doesn't cost anything. Ooh. Those who have victory will receive all this from me. I will be their God, and they will be my children. I get to be God's child. Oh, this is getting better and better. Okay, so he's living with me, and I'm his child. But others will be thrown into the lake of fire that burns with sulfur. Those who are afraid and those who do not believe will be there. Murderers and those who make themselves impure will join them. Those who commit sexual sins and those who practice witchcraft will go there. Those who worship statues of gods and all who tell lies will be there too. The lake of fire is the second death. Wow, that got intense real fast. Then it says, one of the 7 angels who had the 7 bowls came and spoke to me. The bowls were filled with 7 last plagues. The angel said, Come, I will show you to the bride, the wife of the Lamb. Then he carried me away in a vision. The Spirit took me to a huge, high mountain. He showed me Jerusalem and the holy city. It was coming down out of heaven from God. It shone with the glory of God. It gleamed like a very valuable jewel. I found them! Okay, he showed me, it was like jasper, as clear as crystal. Oh, kind of like some of the rocks we saw.
Yeah.
The city had a huge high wall with 12 gates. 12 angels were at the gates, 1 at each of them. On the gates were written the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. There were 3 gates on the east and 3 on the north. There were 3 gates on the south and 3 on the west. The wall of the city had 12 foundations. I feel like there's a theme here. Lots of 12s. Written on them were the names of the 12 apostles of the Lamb. Another 12.
Do you know who the 12 apostles are?
His disciples.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was the 12 tribes and the 12 apostles and the 12 angels and 12 gates. Lots of 12. Okay. Verse 15. The angel who talked with me had a gold measuring rod. He used it to measure the city, its gates, and its walls. The city was laid out like a square. It was as long as it was wide. The angel measured the city with a rod. It was 1,400 miles long. It was as wide as it was and high as it was long. So it's a cube.
It's a cube and it's big.
That is big. 1,400, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
The city measured the wall as human beings measure things. It was 200 feet thick. That's a thick wall.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. The wall was made out of jasper. Ooh, we learned about jasper. The city was made out of pure gold, as pure as glass. That's a lot of gold.
Mm-hmm.
The foundations of the city walls were decorated with every kind of jewel. The first foundation was made out of jasper. There's jasper again. The second was made out of sapphire. The third made out of agate.
Yep.
The fourth was made out of emerald. That's green. That's very pretty.
Mm-hmm.
The fifth was made out of onyx. Is that black? I think.
I don't know.
The sixth was made out of ruby. That's red. I know that one, yeah. The seventh was made out of chrysolite. I don't know what color that one is.
I don't either.
The eighth was made out of beryl. B-E-R-Y-L, not B-A-R-R-E-L. That's different. The ninth was made out of topaz. The 10th was made out of turquoise. Oh, I love turquoise. That's like a blue-green color. It's one of my favorite colors. The 11th was made out of jacinth. The 12th was made out of amethyst. Oh, we learned about amethyst. That
We
one's
did,
purple.
yeah.
That one's pretty. The 12 gates were made from 12 pearls. That's white. Each gate was made out of a single pearl. Whoa, that's a huge pearl.
Yeah, it's a big pearl.
Wow. The main street of the city was made out of gold. It was gold as pure as glass that people can see through clearly. Wow.
Pretty cool, huh?
That is really cool. I bet it's shiny up there.
I think it probably is really shiny.
I might need my sunglasses.
You might.
Oh,
But guess what?
what?
The next little bit of this is going to tell you about why it's so shiny.
Oh, I can't wait. Okay, let's see. Verse 22. I didn't see a temple in the city. That's because the Lamb and the Lord God who rules over all are its temple. Oh, wow. The city does not need the sun or the moon to shine. Wait, there's no sun or moon?
No sun or moon.
I gotta read more. I gotta know why. God's glory is its light, and the Lamb is its lamp. Oh, that's so cool. The nations will walk by the light of the city. The kings of the world will bring their glory into it. Its gates will never be shut because there will be no night there. It's always that bright. I definitely need to bring my sunglasses. The glory and honor of the nations will be brought into it, and what is pure will enter the city. No one who causes people to believe lies will enter it. No one who does shameful things will enter it either. Only those whose names are written in the Lamb's book of life will enter the city. Oh, Miss Becky, I really hope I'm there.
Doesn't that sound wonderful?
Oh, it sounds so beautiful.
I think it's going to be so exciting to be at heaven.
Me too.
So they talked about these stones, and I think we looked up a bunch of them. But jasper and sapphire, emerald, onyx, ruby. So I just wanted to show you a picture of what these stones look like polished.
Oh, they are so pretty.
Aren't they
All
gorgeous?
those different colors up there.
Imagine how beautiful they'll be
Oh,
with the light of God
wow.
shining through them.
Oh, wow, I can't even imagine.
I think it's going to be so amazing.
I can't wait to see it.
Me neither.
Yeah.
So I want you to draw a picture of what you think the heavenly city is going to look like.
Oh, Wow!
Don't you think it's going to look so amazing?
Yes, I do!
So it's got all those beautiful gemstones in it,
yes.
and the light of God is going to be there, and
shining bright.
and we're going to be there.
Yes.
So I really want to see what you draw for a picture. So go ahead, and when you get done, put a picture on Google Classroom for me.
Okay, I will.
Okay.
I can't wait.
That will be really, really cool. And we
Oh,
can see
right.
what everybody thinks heaven is going to look like.
Oh, I can't wait to see what everyone else thinks it's going to look like.
I can't either.
I can only imagine.
So there's one more thing we need to do to finish the geology award.
Ooh, what is it?
We need to make a rock craft.
Okay, what am I doing with rocks?
So I was thinking there's this really cool thing where we can paint rocks.
What?
Yeah, so you could use just regular paint like acrylic paint to paint rocks or those kind of things, but there's this really cool technique where you can use water and fingernail polish, and you put the fingernail polish on top of the water and swirl it around to make a cool design, and then you can dip the rock into it and you can get that swirled pattern on top of the rock.
Oh, that sounds so beautiful. I can't wait. I want to do that one. Can I do that one?
Yeah, I think we can. And
All
then
right. Mom, I'm going to need your nail polish.
Okay, so this is probably something you need to do with your parents, okay? Don't
Okay.
do this one alone, because if you
Okay.
get nail polish on your mom's
Oh,
carpet,
she would not like that.
it would not go well. So
No.
make sure you talk to your parents about doing this one first, but I think it's going to be really cool, and I can't wait to see what you create.
Me neither.
All right.
Can I go do it now?
Sure.
Oh, right.
All right, let's say goodbye.
Bye.